There was once a man whose name made entire kingdoms tremble. A man feared more than loved. His name, Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. He didn't win hearts. He conquered them, not with wisdom or mercy, but with blood and fire. He forged an empire from the bones of the broken. Some say he was a genius, a visionary centuries ahead of his time. Others say he was a monster, a tyrant obsessed with power and immortality. So, which was he? A brutal tyrant or a brilliant nation builder? Maybe both. Today, we uncover the truth behind China's most controversial ruler. Yingzheng, later known as Qin Shi Huang, was born in 259 BC. His childhood wasn't royal. It was filled with fear, politics, and betrayal. His father was a hostage prince. His mother, a former dancer. And looming over both was Lu Buwei, a merchant who saw opportunity in chaos. Some claim Lu Buwei was the real father. Whether true or not, what shaped Yingzheng wasn't blood. It was survival in a world that devoured the weak. At just 13 years old, Yingzheng became king of Qin, but he wasn't in control. The true power behind the throne was Lu Buwei, his political guardian and puppet master. Lu Buwei ruled in his name, manipulating the court. He published a massive book, the Lu Shi Chunkyu, to shape Zheng's ideology and glorify his own brilliance. But Yingzheng was no puppet. By age 21, he began cutting strings. He exiled corrupt ministers and silenced threats, including a lover scandal involving his own mother. He embraced legalism, a philosophy built on fear, order, and iron discipline. In Zheng's world, law replaced loyalty. Obedience meant survival. Dissent meant death. This was no longer the boy king. This was the ruler of Qin, hard, relentless, and ready to unify China, or crush it trying. The warring states had battled for centuries. But now, under Qin's rule, the final chapter began. Yingzheng wanted more than dominance. He wanted absolute unity. In 230 BC, Qin crushed Han. In 228, they took Zhao. In 226, they stormed Yan. Each victory came with brutal efficiency and rivers of blood. Yan struck back with a desperate act. The assassination attempt by Jing Ke, he failed. And Yingzheng, now deeply paranoid, grew even more ruthless. The empire's greatest general, Wang Jian, led Qin's brutal campaign against Chu, the strongest rival. Zheng asked, "How many soldiers do you need?" Wang said 600,000. Reluctantly, the emperor approved. Chu fell. Finally, in 221 BC, the state of Qi surrendered without a fight. For the first time in history, China was won. In 221 BC, Yingzheng took a new name, Qin Shi Huang, not king, emperor. He claimed the mandate of heaven and named his rule, the beginning of eternity. He abolished feudalism, centralizing power under imperial law. The entire land was divided into provinces governed by loyal officials, not noble families. Qin Shi Huang standardized weights, currency, and even the writing system, so everyone spoke in the same symbols, followed the same laws, and used the same money. But unity came with cruelty. He burned books and executed scholars. Intellectuals who challenged his rule were silenced forever. He ordered the building of roads, canals, and the first version of the Great Wall to defend against northern tribes and connect the empire. As his empire grew, so did his fear of death. Qin Shi Huang became obsessed with living forever. He demanded elixirs, potions, and mythical journeys. He sent ships to find the fabled islands of immortals, believing magical beings held the key to eternal life. None returned. Ironically, the potions he consumed, believed to be mercury-based, may have killed him. His quest for immortality became the cause of his death. He died during a secret journey in 210 BC. Fearing unrest, his ministers hid his death, transporting his body in a carriage filled with rotting fish to mask the smell. Not long after his death, rebellions broke out. The Qin dynasty collapsed within years. His dream of eternal rule turned to ash. Qin Shi Huang unified China, but at a brutal cost. His rule was built on fear, yet it laid the foundation for 2,000 years of imperial tradition. He created the idea of China as one people, one nation, under one law. Even in death, his influence shapes the country's identity today. His tomb remains sealed to this day, guarded by thousands of life-size terracotta warriors, a frozen army meant to protect him in the afterlife. Historians debate his legacy. Was he a monster, a genius, or just a man who dared to do what no one else could? Power can build a nation, but without compassion, it can break it too. Qin Shi Huang left an empire, but lost the hearts of his people. Qin Shi Huang proved that a single man could change the world. But he also proved that power without wisdom becomes fear, and fear cannot last forever. His empire vanished, but his story remains. A cautionary tale written in stone, smoke, and blood, the builder of unity and of tyranny. In the end, we must ask ourselves, not what kind of emperor he was, but what kind of world we create when fear leads and freedom follows. The Great Wall wasn't just a wall, it was a grave. Thousands died building it. Buried beneath the stones were not just bodies, but fear made solid. His terracotta army wasn't decoration, it was insurance. Qin feared betrayal in death as much as in life. He built a ghost army to guard his soul. He destroyed history to write his own. Books burned, knowledge lost. He believed unity demanded silence, but silence erases wisdom. His rule inspired fear, but also awe. Even his enemies admitted they had never seen such control, such vision, such iron-willed leadership. Where others ruled provinces, he ruled minds. His spies, his decrees, his laws, they pierced deeper than swords. He believed emotions were weakness. Love? Distrusted. Friendship? Dangerous. He trusted one thing: control. He didn't want to be remembered as a man. He wanted to be remembered as a force, like the Yellow River or the mountains. Qin created the title emperor. Before him, there were only kings. He raised the ceiling of power forever. Yet for all his power, he couldn't escape one thing: death. He could conquer nations, but not fate. Qin taught future emperors one thing: build fast, rule hard, and die prepared. Every dynasty after copied him. Some even feared him. He wasn't just the start of China's empire. He was the blueprint, but a blueprint made of stone cracks. His dynasty lasted only 15 years. It burned brighter than all, but burned out faster. He once said, "Let my descendants rule for 10,000 generations," but none lasted even 2. Even in modern China, his shadow lingers. His name is taught. His wall still stands. His silence still speaks. Some worship him, others curse him, but none forget him. His tomb may never be opened. Some say it's cursed, others say it's too perfect to disturb. The mercury rivers beneath his burial chamber still flow, untouched, eternal, like his ambition. What lies beneath the tomb may never be known, but one thing is certain: he buried more than treasure, he buried questions. If you fear being forgotten, you build monuments. Qin built an empire. He carved his name into time. Was it ambition that drove him, or fear? The fear of irrelevance, of fading, of becoming just another name in a scroll. In trying to live forever, he lost what made life human: trust, warmth, connection. He ruled millions, but died alone. History rarely remembers soft hands. It remembers iron fists. That's the story Qin chose to write. But what if he had ruled with mercy instead of might? Would we still remember him? He didn't trust the future, so he tried to control it. But the future isn't loyal, it's honest. In a strange way, Qin got what he wanted. We still say his name. We still walk his roads. Fear built it. Time preserved it. The wall he built to keep enemies out now draws millions in. Tourists stand where soldiers once died. We think of tyrants as heartless. But what if tyranny comes from a heart too terrified to trust? Qin Shi Huang's empire didn't collapse because it was weak. It collapsed because it was rigid. Power needs strength, but also flexibility. His laws were flawless, his strategies brilliant. His downfall? He built a kingdom no one wanted to die for. When people fear you, they obey. When they love you, they follow. Qin chose obedience. Even tyrants are mortal, but stories, they live forever. Qin knew this, and he made sure the story would be told. What would he think of China today? Would he smile at the order or weep at the freedom? In the end, he gave China a mirror, and what we see in it says more about us than him. Qin Shi Huang didn't ask to be loved. He demanded to be remembered, and in that, he succeeded.